In truth, it's hard to differentiate between prayer and raising man. And with Kabbalists, it's mostly the same thing. It's the raising of a lack from the lower one to the upper one, where only the correct lack we need to raise to the Creator. The Creator is always the higher up degree from us, where we can touch it through our deficiency. Come and see, Bore. And if you want to reveal it, you have to rise to it. And how do you rise to it? If you ask to be given forces and then be able to rise and be in the place of the upper. And therefore, we have no more than raising man. Only the correct order of our request towards the upper degree arranges for us all our relations between us and the upper degree, the Creator. And it's always, the creature is always, or the created being is always the current degree, and the Creator is the upper degree. And we're building before us this upper degree, as it's written, you made me. As from our correct deficiency, where we process it correctly, reformat it correctly, then from that we come to the state in which, yes, the Creator, Bo'ure, come and see, come and reveal, is revealed to us that way. And this is all from the force of the deficiency that we arrange. And this initial lack is the most difficult one, because we need to make it from an opposite egoistic desire, which is all aimed towards ourselves, so much so that we're not even aware of it. The extent in which our thoughts and desires are all aimed towards ourselves. And we need to somewhat, at least, somehow, even though it's egotistically done so, but to aim it towards the Creator. That's also a question, because the Creator is concealed. And we don't have any inclination towards Him. And only when we start to discover that we want Him, we want to turn to Him, that we are connected to Him, then that too takes a long time and efforts. Just like the Kabbalists tell us that only the work in the 10 is what formats us and aims us, helps us turn correctly to the higher up degree, the next state, which is called Bore, Creator. And the next state is always additional connection in the 10 and dvikut, adhesion to it, and everything that the Creator presents before us. Therefore, we need to understand that there is also a revealed part and also a concealed part in this. The revealed part is my friends that I know and understand, and that which the Creator arranges for us in such a way that He reveals to me seemingly the reality, the spiritual reality in the form of a corporeal reality, in the form of a 10. And I try to come closer to them, to adhere to them, to somewhat connect to them, subdue myself before them. Just like Rabash writes in all his articles, his social articles. That's the collection of counsels of how we can come to such a 10 through which we can already bestow to the upper degree from us, which is called Bore, the Creator. As if we will implement correctly these conditions, then the degree will reveal, will be Bore, that we will be able to come to it and see it as the quality of bestowal that will be revealed in us, inside the connection between us, this mutual connection. This is especially now, while we're in the last generation, this condition of being connected is the necessary condition, also in the 10 of each and every one, and altogether it will be in the whole world. We will feel how all the events that we're going through day after day are all aiming us towards connection, towards a mutual connection, and if not connection, not only do we not advance, but we will descend in order to recognize our state as bad and even worse, and this will obligate us to discover ourselves in a very terrible way. This is what we need to understand about the state and to try to stabilize it correctly and implement it. That's why we have a prayer in our state in which we don't quite know how to connect to the upper, how to turn to the upper. And therefore the prayer is, let's call it like a folk prayer. Just like, let's say, anyone can imagine to himself what he could ask the Creator for, how to yearn for Him. Of course, there's an egoistic force that's involved in this. A person's egoism is involved in this as well, meaning not just the desire to connect with his friends in order to give the Creator the possibility, the lack to be revealed, which is what we can do for Him. That's all he's missing, a kli, a vessel, for Him to be able to fill out of His desire to bestow, which is all He is. Therefore, we need to understand that only the connection between us is needed, and before we come to the true desire to connect in order to give the Creator by this the ability to be revealed and to delight from us, then certainly we have a lot of work, a lot of exertion, but nevertheless, penny after penny adds up to a great sum. There's great exertion, even the little bit that we're doing, sometimes catching ourselves that we do want to be connected, that we do. We must, in order to bring ourselves back to that kli, the corrected kli of Adam Rishon, and only correction we ask from the Creator for Him to do. But the inclination towards that needs to be from us, on our behalf. Hence, we can divide it in such a way that there is a request which is still not completely stabilized correctly. It's general, of beginners, and the form of that request we can call prayer in general. But if we are already talking about our desire, which we do want to obligate Him, to aim it towards the Creator, and even obligate the Creator to help us, which is called "My sons defeated me," then that address, which is arranged and formatted correctly and stabilized, established correctly, is called man, Mei Nukvin, where we truly raise our lack, our deficiency, and we raise it to the higher up degree, to the Creator, which is called make your will like His will, so that His desire will be like your desire. But first us, and then such an appeal where we can truly obligate the Creator to arrange the correct deficiency for us and fill it. That appeal is called man. Therefore, man is the prayer that is precisely arranged between the degrees of the lower and the upper, and is meant to correctly awaken the upper, obligate the upper, as it's written, my sons defeated me. Where he, the creator of the upper degree from us, will take care of us, arrange for us the correct deficiency, so that already in that corrected lack that he arranges for us, actually for him, because he himself can also partially reveal himself, which is called to fill the lack that was raised. Therefore, both the vessel and the light we receive from above. However, we receive it from the Creator only as we precede it with the correct lack on our behalf, which is called man. And as we learn from the Torah, this man was the food, the nourishment of the people of Israel as they left Egypt in the desert. As at that point, that's the only thing they enjoy. This is the only thing they're filled by asking, by raising the lack to the Creator. That's what fills them. And that is truly the correct filling for them in the time of correction. As throughout all the time that a person corrects his vessel until he comes to the degree of Malchut, from the degree of Malchut to the degree of Binah, that's considered that he moves from Egypt to the land of Israel, 40 years, meaning 40 degrees, that's called from Malchut to Binah. That is actually where he constantly raises man, and from that he is filled. That is what fills a person, meaning he doesn't want anything and can't satiate himself in any other way but by turning to the Creator. Where the connection with the Creator, the appeal to the Creator, is for him all the fulfillment. So it turns out that although it's called raising man, prayer, deficiency, but he enjoys, he is filled from this lack. A person is filled that way, where he has nothing greater in life than that which he expects to have, rather only to be able to turn to the Creator and ask from him. He knows in this request that he is bringing contentment to the Creator. And afterwards, we no longer call the appeal to the Creator raising man. Then these are already greater things. They're also following the same style, but it's just like Ibul, Yanika, Mochin, and so on. These are forms of bestowal that are greater. And this is how we will advance. So if so, today we are in the last lesson of establishing our correct desire to the Creator. And let's hope that if we conclude it correctly, then tomorrow we will already learn how we really exit in order to receive, in order to bestow, and the whole process of the exodus from Egypt.